Hello, friends. Thank you for joining us for Let's Talk Travel. And I am really excited. We have been during April showcasing all of the premium cruise line providers throughout the month. And this is our final broadcast for April. And we are just delighted to welcome one of our very good friends in the industry, the travel community. Ashley, everybody knows you. Everybody loves you. You're just one of the most known faces and most beloved personalities in all of the travel industry with the travel agents. We all love you.
Thank
And
you.
we know you're there for us and we appreciate you so much. So this is Ashley Vaughan, our very special guest for this episode of Let's Talk Travel. And Ashley is the senior manager of national accounts for Holland America line. And Ashley, before we get started, I have a little video that I'd like to plug in here just to get us underway here. I think I've got it here. Let's see if it plays. Hang on, folks, just 1 second here.
Breathtaking. Meat impeccable. Refined. Meat untouched. On a Holland America line cruise, comforting, intuitive service blends with awe-inspiring destinations and exhilarating experiences. Call your travel agent or visit hollandamerica.com.
It was great. Ashley, Holland, it provides an amazing premium cruise experience. And I make no secret of the fact that for my own personal taste, Hal is absolutely hands down my own personal favorite cruise line when I'm traveling for pleasure myself. And so I'm always just especially happy when we can welcome you on board to one of our presentations.
Thank you.
And Ashley, you've had a kind of an interesting pathway in the travel industry, and you've had a few little stops along the way. Would you mind to share with our listeners just a little bit of your history in this fabulous industry we're in?
Sure. So I like to say I fell into this on accident. I had a passion for traveling, and after college, I saw a job in the newspaper. So that tells you how long ago it was, for a cruise selling agent. And I said, that sounds like fun. And so I applied, and I didn't have any experience. And so the agency I was applying with said, you don't have experience for this, but you have a great marketing background. We're starting a marketing team. We'd love for you to join us. And that was my entryway into travel. And once you're in this business, you can never get out. And I've had the really, truly immense pleasure and honor to work for a multitude of companies within the business. After I left the agency, after a few years, I went and worked for a land operator, Trafalgar and Brendan Vacations. And I absolutely fell even more in love with travel. Being able to see different cultures and visit different places became my favorite thing when I would go on vacation. And then the opportunity to join Holland America came along, and I had to jump at it because it really took everything I loved about the land vacations, the immersion into culture, and moved it into the cruising world, which I just found absolutely fascinating. So I'm really excited to be here and share more about the Holland story.
That is it's interesting, and you are absolutely right. When you get into this business, you simply cannot get out. You can't give it up. You fall in love with it. It's addictive. It really is. Ashley, you haven't been with Holland too long now. Have you managed to work any cruises and get anything under your belt?
So unfortunately, I did join Holland America right at the beginning of 2020, and then the world shut down. So I didn't get a chance to get on any ships since I've worked here. But luckily, I was able to sail on the beautiful Euro Dam back in 2008, inaugural season. So it was a pretty special experience. And it was one of the best cruise experiences I've ever had. Sitting at the sea view pool area with the deck that just goes on forever, and seeing the places that we were leaving and the places we were coming into, and being able to just sit out there and read as we cruised through Europe was just honestly an amazing, amazing experience. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting on board once we're sailing again. And I'm most looking forward to getting on our brand new ship, the Rotterdam. She's sailing from Fort Lauderdale, which is very convenient for me, and going into the Caribbean. So I'm really, really excited. She's going to have all the best of the Pinnacle class features. So it should be a really good time.
It will be a good time. I know I haven't had an opportunity, of course, to get my feet on the decks of that ship. I'm like you. I'm looking forward to at least an opportunity to do um, an inspection. And I always put, when Cruise World's my big deal. I got to go to that every year, but partially because of the cruise opportunities to do inspections. And I always try to get on board one of the Holland America ships whenever I possibly can. Uh, Ashley, could you take us a little deeper into the Holland America cruise experience? What differentiates you guys in the industry?
I think what really sets us apart is the fact that we have an experience that's based upon culinary, music, and exploration. And so, people who love to learn about new cultures, like to visit new places, want to hear the stories of the places that they're visiting, we integrate that a lot through our onboard experience. The culinary is probably one of my favorite things about sailing on Holland America Line. And, we have a lot of really cool ways to interact with culinary experiences, whether it's through our specialty dining venues or our main dining room is fantastic. Our culinary council has built all the menus for all of our dining venues on board. And then we've also taken that a step further to include culinary experiences in partnership with Food and Wine magazine. So when you're doing shore excursions, you can get out there and do a cooking class in different destinations or sample different foods from a different area. Partner that
So you
with
can really, people who are really into the food can really incorporate that into their entire experience, both their onboard and their shoreside.
Definitely. Yeah. We have the shore excursions. You have the great dining venues on board. Our Pinnacle class ships also feature Blend, which is this really cool wine venue where you can learn how to make your own wine and sample the wines that you've made. So there's
fun
ways to really engage in culinary activities.
So I love that. And music, you said, is another emphasis.
Yeah, music is a huge part of the entertainment options at Holland, and nobody really puts the music to the forefront like we have. We have partnerships with Billboard and BB King's Blues Club, Rolling Stone, and we've created these different musical venues on the ship where you can enjoy genres from modern rock to classical music at Lincoln Center Stage. We have the BB King Blues Club, which is where everybody seems to gravitate at the end of the night. And then you also have the World Stage venue where we've done partnerships with BBC Earth to bring these beautiful presentations of, BBC's spectacular nature footage partnered with some musical accompaniment in our fantastic theater venues. So really engaging entertainment from music to some of the shows.
I love that. And that's definitely one of the things that I love about the HAL experience. You guys, you step on the ships and there's an elegance, there's a traditional feel about it, but yet it never feels stuffy at all. And so it's very comfortable, a comfortable, welcoming elegance. Kind of like stepping into maybe a favorite club that you've joined or something. So I love that about HAL. Of course, now itineraries. Itineraries are always a huge, huge part of any cruise experience, and that's one of the things you guys emphasize. So
Oh, did we lose you, Pat? Let's see here. I guess while we're waiting for her, I think what she was going to ask about was different itineraries. So
yeah, so I just managed to disconnect somehow there for a minute. So I'm back, everybody. We're going to get back to this. I've never done that before. I don't know what happened. It was just a little blip, but here we are. We're back again, and so itineraries. We were going to talk a little bit about the Caribbean.
Mhm. Yeah, like I said, Rotterdam is coming out this year, and she will be starting in Europe, and then she'll be coming over to the Caribbean. And you picked the perfect itinerary to showcase, Pat, because that is the one I'm most excited about. It's going to some very cool places in the Caribbean. You get to sail past Mount Pelée, which right now is erupting near Martinique, and so you're just able to get into some very unique ports of call that a lot of cruise lines don't visit, which I think is very interesting.
And it's also so easy. You know, a lot of people think about, you know, the itineraries that are further afield, but
Mhm.
Hal has some amazing itineraries right here in the Caribbean. Us Floridians, it's so easy for us to just hop over. We have 5 cruise ports, and so it's easy for us to get to, and uh, just hop on one of these ships. You can just enjoy it without having to travel too far afield to get on board. I love that. What other itineraries are you thinking about these days that you would recommend for our guests?
You know, out of our home ports, we obviously have the sailing from Fort Lauderdale, which include Panama Canal and our beautiful Half Moon Cay in the Bahamas. So to your point, they are incredibly convenient. If you're on the West Coast, we also have some great itineraries to Hawaii from San Diego. And I think it's just one of the most relaxing ways to get to Hawaii, to just be on a beautiful ship, eating fantastic food, listening to awesome music, and then you get to arrive in the beautiful islands, one of my favorite places in the world, and explore all through Hawaii. So I truly, truly love this itinerary. And then I would also say my other favorite area is the Mediterranean. I think what Holland America Line was obviously born in Europe. So over 147 years ago, we started sailing from Rotterdam. And, you know, we provide Europe in a very classy way, I would say. So the Mediterranean is one of my favorite places. I love the food. I love the culture and the history of this area. And going into Santorini, which I think everybody loves once they go over to Greece. It's just such a beautiful place, and the ability to overnight in Istanbul and just see some of the amazing cultures. It really is a spectacular place. If you haven't done the, I highly, highly recommend it.
Yeah, the Med is just it's just fascinating. It's so much culture, so much history. If you're a history buff, uh, what a great destination there, because you know, here in the U.S. we think anything 200 years old is ancient, but there are many buildings that go back to the 13th century that are still standing and in use. They're not ruins; they are being used, and people are living in them and working in them. It's rather amazing. So, uh, what about uh, coming forward? I know Hal's made some changes in recent years. What's your target demographic these days? Who are you looking? Who's going to feel at home on a Holland America cruise, Ashley?
That's a great question. I think a lot of times when people are thinking about cruise lines or who the right cruise experience is, it often comes down to an age thing, which I don't think is a very fair way to look at a product. You know, you have people that like to travel and like different things. And I find age is really immaterial to that. So what I would say to help you identify whether you're the perfect Holland America Line guest or not, I would say if you love to learn, if you love to explore, if you like culture and history and stories about other places, if you love food, if you love great dining experiences, whether you're making it or simply enjoying it, if you like to listen to music and you like to dance, and then you're the perfect Holland America Line guest. And if you want to do all of that with the premium touches of, luxury linens and fresh flowers, but in a way that gives you the atmosphere where you can relax and just be yourself, then you really are perfect for Holland America Line.
That is probably the best sales pitch that I can remember hearing about, how, because it's not about age. You can't just put people in an age category and just book them by that is the only factor. And I know that Hal in the past a lot of times did have a geared toward the senior population, but now you find people in in their 30s and 40s and yeah, and I talked to some of my fellow travel agents who are younger in your age group, and Holland is their favorite cruise line. So you can't just assume that just because somebody is not in a baby boomer that they are not a good fit for Holland America. So if you like that elegance and you like the things that Ashley's been talking about, tell us that you would like to look at some Holland America opportunities, because it could be the perfect fit for you. Food, we talked about that at Ashley to some extent here, but what can you share about the cuisine and that onboard dining experience on Hal? Because it really is one of your, I think, one of the things that really differentiates you in the premium cruise market.
Thank you for that. And I agree. I'll tell a story. So I haven't had a chance, as I said, to sail on the ships, but I did get a chance to do a ship inspection in March of last year. And what I thought was really funny, after we do the inspection, we get to sit down for lunch in our main dining room. So it's the same menu you would get if you were sailing on the ship for lunch or for dinner. And I remember eating that lunch and thinking, oh my God, I've forgotten how good the food is on Holland America Line. And I know with a lot of cruise experiences, there's been a development where these specialty restaurants almost become the default of where you want to eat. And I have to say that there's not a single venue on board the ships where the food is not delicious, whether it's the General Lido marketplace area or the main dining room. And of course, the specialty dining is fantastic. So there's not a bad meal to be had on board. And a lot of that comes down to, I think, our culinary council, who's built these menus. These are people that are on Top Chef and, all these famous chefs from around the world. And they've really created some unique dining opportunities on board the ship. So I think it gives it a really special feel when you're sailing with us. And I'm really excited because I know we're going to talk a bit more later about our new Have It All program. And as part of Have It All, you now have an included specialty dining experience on every single cruise with us. So you can eat in Rudy's Celle de Mer, you can eat in Pinnacle Grill, Canaletto, some of our other great venues. So it's a really special way to enjoy your vacation.
You said that about the food, and it's so true. There are some cruise lines that you really, by default, you do book the premium dining because that's where you're going to get really good food, and the main dining room can sometimes be a little sketchy on some cruise lines. But with Hal, the main dining room food, your specialty restaurants are wonderful, but it is definitely an optional thing because you are going to have wonderful dining if you go to the main dining room every night, or the buffet even. The food is going to be just exemplary wherever you go on that. One of the things that I love about the new Holland America ships, one of my favorite things is I just got to touch on this. The exploration center, the crow's nest.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us just a little bit about that venue?
Yeah, for sure. I love this part of the ship too, Pat. It's such a great place because, as you can see, you have some great reading material there. When I was on my cruise, I went up and checked out a book and kind of read it the whole time, which was great. But the Exploration Central Cafe is also a really great area for you to talk with destination experts. And they will tell you more about all the different places you'll be visiting. They can tell you about the different shore excursions that are available in those places. They can give you more information on, what's cool to see and do in these places so that you can really prepare and make sure that you don't miss out on anything that you really are desperate to see and do. They also have talks about the places that you're visiting, so you can really understand the cultural differences or the cultural situation that you might be going into, or just what makes that culture so unique. So there's some really enriching ways to engage with the Exploration Central team. But I like to go there like on the first few days just to kind of suss out where we're going throughout the week or throughout the cruise and get a better idea of what is the must-see, must-do. I really like active adventure shore excursions. So what opportunities do I have for kayaking or hiking or biking in the different places that we're going? They give you a really great overview so you can really just plan out your whole vacation.
And they kind of load up that library with things specific about your itinerary and your destination, so you could find a lot of great. It's part of the immersive experience. They have all of that there. Plus, of course, those travel experts you mentioned there that can really help you dive deep into the destinations that you're going to be visiting. It's not a sales talk like some of the destination talks that you get on, where
Where
it's
to
all
shop.
about, yeah, the Diamonds International store is located. So we've all been to those talks, but you guys really are taking people deeper into the destination and giving them the history and context of where they're traveling. And I love that. You guys have taken a few awards over the years. So
Yeah.
just a couple of them, 2020, the best mid-sized cruise ships. I mean, there's so many. I can't.
Yeah, we have won a lot of awards. Best cruises in Mexican Riviera, best cruises in Hawaii, best in Alaska, best private island, best Panama Canal. And to me, what that means is that you, our guests, absolutely love the experience, no matter where we're sailing. We've gotten best entertainment, best dining. So we know that the food options that we talked about and the entertainment are things that you all love. And the consistency between all the destinations is really important. So I think awards are nice and they kind of bolster what we're saying, but really that comes from you, our travel partners, and your consumers and guests who are traveling with us, just recognizing all the things you love most about Holland America Line. And I will say the award you showed for best midsize ship, I think is one of the most important because that is definitely a distinction between sailing on a Holland America Line experience versus somebody else. Our ships are no more than 2,600 guests. And what that allows for is really intimate places where you can relax and have quiet and peace. If you want to be in the entertainment, you can do that. If you want to find a space to yourself, you can do that too. And so having those perfectly sized ships is really important for not only your onboard experience, but we can get you closer to the destination. We can sail underneath the beautiful bridge in Sydney Harbor. We can get you close in Alaska. And so that mid-sized ship really makes a huge difference.
And it's one of the things I personally love. I mean, we've sailed on it's my job, Ashley. I have to cruise, I have to get on all the different brands and sail on all of them. And there's things to be said for those huge mega ships. It's a great experience, but my goodness, it wears you out if you've got to go from the theater up front to the dining room in the back. You have had a workout by the time you get there. You're ready to have that dinner because you have worked up an appetite. So, but I love the mid-sized ships. It's my space, and anybody else who loves it is going to love Holland America as well. What's on the horizon in the way of new vessels? I mean, you've got a new vessel that has launched, but nobody has really been on board.
Yeah, we just actually had the coin ceremony about a month ago, and so it's a tradition where you take a coin from from Holland, and they actually solder it into the hull of the ship for good luck, and so that has happened. She's coming along, the new Rotterdam. She's Rotterdam 7. So for those of you who don't know the history of Holland America Line, we have been around, like I said, for 147 years. And the original company is based out of Rotterdam in the Netherlands. And so Rotterdam has always been a very important name within our fleet. And so Rotterdam 7 is coming out in August of this year. And she's coming along. She's being built. She's still in the process. So she'll be coming out in the next few months, and we'll get more pictures of her spaces as they're finalized. But she will be the third in our Pinnacle class. And so she will have all the great hallmarks of our beautiful Koningsdam and our new Statendam ship. So we're very excited to welcome her this year.
Yeah, like Statendam has had very few sailings, really, when you get down to it. You know, because you guys haven't been able to be on the water. So, you know, in any of those new Pinnacle class ships are almost like brand new, because they have had so few sailings. You know, they might have Koningsdam. What year did she? Probably 4 years.
Yeah, she's only been out for a few years.
Yeah.
She's supposed to have her debut Alaska season in 2020, and now it will be in hopefully later this year in 2021, but maybe 2022, depending on what Canada does. So we'll see.
Okay, yeah, we're still hopeful that we're going to pull off some part of that Alaska season this year. Are all of the ships, are the new ships, are they all open for booking now?
Everything is open for sale, and we have all of our 2022 deployment open. We also have started deploying 2023. So currently the Grand Voyages are open for sale, and Caribbean, Panama Canal into the spring of 2023. And starting on April 30th, you guys get first dibs at this. We'll be opening up some Mexican Riviera and some additional Caribbean sailings for 2023. So that will be open for sale next week. So definitely make sure you stay in touch with Pat to get the latest and greatest on when that's open for.
And absolutely, it is not too soon, but given the pent up demand, and there have been some days now where actually they set records for cruise bookings recently. So the pent-up demand is there. And if you want to get certain classes of staterooms, certain destinations, there are things. Alaska is one that I keep telling people, do not hold off on booking Alaska for 2022, even into 2023, because people haven't been able to go there, and it's flying off the shelves. So if you want to do that now, it would not be too soon to be thinking about even 2023, folks. And you know, it's not manufactured urgency, it's just reporting what's going on in the industry. So Ashley, I think we all know that it would be an incredible understatement to say that the pandemic has really wreaked havoc with the cruise industry. What words would you like to share with our listeners about Holland America's plans going forward, the protocols you've put in place, the safeguards, plans, anything you want to share?
Yeah, it's definitely top of our mind. It's our number one priority is the safety and security of all of our guests on board and our amazing crew. So we are still finalizing what some of that protocol and procedures will look like at this point. And as we get closer to announcing some kind of return to sail, we will have more concrete information. So definitely keep checking with Pat. But a few of the things that we're looking at, and we've already announced, we're looking at the entire process. So as you arrive at the port, we're going to be doing temperature checks and health checks. on board, you know, in our Lido marketplace, you never really served yourself. We always served you, even though it was a buffet style experience. So a lot of that will remain the same, but there could be some onboard activities that change. We are also looking at closed shore excursions initially. So we're really limiting the opportunity for any exposure to COVID within the destinations themselves. And we've introduced new ventilation systems on board. We've expanded our medical facilities on board. So if there is some kind of situation as we're traveling, we are much better equipped to handle that than we've ever been in the past. So there may be some additional requirements and you know, policies or procedures that will be coming out in the next few weeks. So as I said, definitely keep checking for the latest and greatest, but know that your safety and your security is our number one priority, shortly followed by making sure you have the best vacation you could ever have.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And I have tried to keep up with all of the protocols. The cruise industry is just really pulled out all the stops in putting things in place to keep for safe. And it all has always done so, but now they have you've added layers and layers on top. And I am convinced that once you guys sail again, there's no safer place on the planet than on board a cruise ship. You guys you've thought of everything. You've left nothing untouched in those protocols. And as for booking incentives and things that you guys are you touched on it earlier. Can you give us a little deeper dive into your current promotion? And I don't know, is it a promotion or is it?
I'm calling it a package because, you know, it is an evergreen offer. So this is not something that's going to have a limited time. It's not like our traditional sales where we do like our view and veranda or explore for, if you've sailed with us in the past. Our brand new Have It All package is something that will be available on every single departure and sailing from now till forever and ever. The only exceptions, it's not available on sailings shorter than 5 days, and it's not available on our grand voyages. But everything else that we have at Holland America Line, you can enjoy Have It All. And this really came about from feedback that we received during the COVID period when we were running a lot of different promotions and the value added amenities that our guests are really looking for when they sail with a premium company like Holland America Line. And so we're really excited to be able to bring you an amazing cruise and you can have it all. And so your Have It All rate will include at least one specialty dining experience. It will include free Wi-Fi for the first and second guests. It will include a shore excursion, at least one shore excursion, and it will include the signature beverage package. So the shore excursion and the specialty dining will actually be tiered based upon the length of your cruise vacation. So if you're on a longer cruise with us, you'll get additional shore excursions and dining opportunities. And then the Wi-Fi and the beverage package are good for the entire duration of your cruise vacation. So that's all bundled in now. You don't have to worry about buying it a la carte when you get on board or even before your cruise. It's already done. You can just get on board, have that sail away drink, plan your specialty dinner during the week, figure out which shore excursion you want, and then share your experience through social media with all your friends and make them jealous.
For sure. Ashley, I love that. And I think it's such a wise move to just roll that in and put it on the package so people don't have to, because you're going to have that wine, you're going with dinner, you're going to have a couple of cocktails and you're going to do one night. So they're making it easy and just including it all in the package. And I think that is such a wise move. And in addition to that, just because we want to just give you a little something special, if you should book with us, you still have a few days left in the month of April. And if you book any cruise with Holland America, 7 nights or longer through Dancing Moon Travel, we are going to throw in another $50 onboard credit and one of our beautiful collectible tote bags as well. And despite the fact that you're including so much, there's still a place or two that you could manage to spend a few dollars while you're on board. So that $50 onboard credit it could come in handy. Ashley, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sorry for that little blip where I just disappeared on you. I don't know what happened, but I know that you have given our audience a lot to think about, some great information on what sets Holland America apart and makes them so special in the premium cruise industry. Folks, you really can't do better than Holland America. They're such a great partner, and we always have total confidence when we book any of our clients on board a Holland America sailing. So to book, it can't be easier. Just reach out to me and we'll be happy to take care of all the details for you. And Ashley, again, thank you so much. We so appreciate your time and look to have you join us again in the near future. Closing remarks here. Don't forget, next month, we are going to be looking at domestic travel, and our first guest will be probably one of the best known brands in the world. Disney is going to be joining us as our guest for the first Tuesday, May 4th. They'll be on board with us, not on board, but they will be with us. And so Eva Garfield, the district sales manager for Disney, is going to be chatting with us. And as for our word of the day, we got a little drawing. Of course, I'll be putting a little more, just type Holland America in the comments, and we'll enter you and send you a little gift card for sticking with us. That's only for our live listeners, folks. So can't do that if you're catching us afterwards. But thanks for joining us, everybody. Thank you again, Ashley. It's always such a pleasure. So appreciate everybody. Bye. See you next week.